Hey everybody, Alex from SeemsGoodMagic.com here, and we're doing another 8-4 Shadows over Innistrad draft. Good pack. Avacyn's Judgment, but also Pack Guardian. I guess Pack Guardian's kind of like gone down in people's books. I can't imagine it's gone down much. It's like, look at that. It's two relevant creature types, right? Because it works in both the Wolf and Werewolf deck and a Spirit deck. Flash 4/3, which would already be good, and potentially, well, you can theoretically get Madness with it, but no, it's a land card only. But I mean, it fuels Delirium. It's such a good card, but Judgment might be better because Fireball effects. That's challenging, actually. I think I'm going to go for Fireball effect. I do think Pack Guardian's pretty insane, though. Alright, so best card in this pack might just be the Deadweight. I mean, Topplgeist is fine, Asylum Visitor is fine, nothing good in red we want to follow up with. Even if we'd first picked the Pack Guardian, it wouldn't have been it. Well, I guess maybe the Scarecrow, more Delirium. But I think taking Deadweight here is good. Deadweight's a pretty awesome card. All right. Okay. Options now. Best card in the pack is probably the Illuminator. That's tough to say, though. I mean, Murderous Compulsion is certainly playable and fine. We have Gibbering Fiend, which I like Fiend. It's not, like, busted, but certainly good. I might just take the Compulsion. It's good removal. Not a good aggressive removal card, as I've suggested many times in the past. I could just take the Illuminator. I really do like this card a lot. It's a really good card. Pros of taking the Compulsion. I mean, it's a removal spell, but it kind of wants you to play more to the late game. Not that that's a huge deal. I guess we'll take Compulsion. It feels a little bit early, but... Well, Pious Evangel is really good. I'm kind of surprised to see that fourth pick. It's a really powerful card. I really like this card a lot. I guess it's not like busted, but it's certainly a unique effect in this format. I can take the Rats. I really like the Rats a lot. I'm a big fan. They kind of go along with the Compulsion and the Judgment, as a matter of fact, because both of these cards... Well, Rancid Rats has the advantage of being good in almost every deck. There's really no problem... Any black deck, I should say. There's really no problem with it. Pyrohound is also going to be good with Murderous Compulsion and Avacyn's Judgment. You want instants, though, with Pyrohound, but still, I mean, sorceries work, too. I think I'm going to take the Rats here. I just am a big Rats fan. I think they work well. Ooh, Geese's Bidding is a nice pickup. That one is worth taking over Compulsion. Just a really nice card. So we have no Madness Enablers, and we already have 3 Madness cards now, which means we got to find some Madness Enablers if we want to get that nice value. We only have 1 red card, so I guess we could still find our way back in blue. If we do find our way back in blue, I'm probably going to have a little bit of regret of picking the Compulsion over the Illuminator. Manic Scribe. I mean, it's a fun card. Could take the Warped Landscape. I could take the Apparatus. All these cards are not crazy. And there's Vessel of Malignity as well. No red card in here to note. I mean, Manic Scribe's fine. We do currently have Enchantment, Sorcery, Creature, and I think I don't really like the Scribe all that much. It's a cool way to win, but I'm not a huge fan. I'd probably just take the Landscape if we want to splash the Judgment, especially if we don't end up in red, which it seems like we won't. With the Landscape, we can easily splash it. Well, Pale Rider's good. There's also a Skeleton, but I think we'll take Pale Rider. We're looking for a nice Madness outlet. And Pale Rider, 5 mana, get a Geese's Bidding and a 3/3 Skulk, or 4 mana, destroy a tap creature, get a 3/3. It's not bad. Otherwise, I feel like most of the time with Pale Rider, I just play a turn 2 3/3, which is also good. It also fuels Delirium. Not that we have any Delirium yet, but we have a kind of a nice little early setup for it, which means theoretically we could go green, but green is a pretty hotly contested color in this format. I like the Revenant a lot. Well, having said that, there's Briarbridge Patrol. Although Briarbridge Patrol, not that popular of a card, it turns out. It's okay. It's a hill giant that'll end up drawing you a card most of the time. There's also a pretty late Silver Strike. I kind of just want the Revenant here. I really like this card. And I kind of like these decks that just peck away damage and use removal when necessary. Revenant's just got the nice advantage of that 2-point life swing is really nice. Wicker Witch is basically just good for Delirium. We'll take the Revenant. I want to cut black early. We've totally boxed ourselves into black, which I'm okay with. We have all of our black cards are very good. Okay, Macabre Waltz is also a Madness Enabler, which makes it very good here. Certainly better for us than the Mentor. And there's nothing else in this that we care about. Pieces of the Puzzle, good for the Spells deck. Not a lot of decks outside of that really want it. So there's Merciless Resolve, which is also a reasonable way to get Delirium online. I know we still don't have any Delirium, but we could pick some up, so I'm going to take it. Because that would be kind of the last component we need. Because we have the sorceries, we have the creatures. We just need the instant. I usually just never play Resolve. Well, we'll take the Apparatus now. Okay. So, okay. Well, actually, that's kind of weird. Pyrohound's just really good. I'm going to take it here. I guess we only have a couple spells that actually trigger it. But otherwise, I'm taking like a Forsaken Sanctuary Fixing. I mean, there's still a chance I want to play the Pyrohound. Yeah, I'll take the Wolves. Hound is playable. Not great, but playable. Okay, so reasonable start. We ended up with a ton of playables. We definitely are in black. No doubt. Ooh, I like the Tormentor. Bloodseeker is a great Madness Enabler. But so is Tormentor, and Tormentor also ends games unblockable style. So I'm going to take that. We don't really have the zombies for Diregraph Colossus. Geese's Bidding, not zombies in your graveyard. Yeah, Tormentor's just good. I'm always happy picking it. So let's take it. Scourge Wolf, okay. Incentive to play more Delirium. Also incentive to go deeper red, I guess. Tormenting Voice also works on your Delirium and your Madness. What's our Madness count again? What do we got? Compulsion, which doesn't really work with the Madness enablers we have. Judgment's a huge one that we need enablers for. Tormentor will work for that, though, really well. I'm okay taking Scourge Wolf here, I think. We already have decent removal, right? I guess we could use more, to be honest. I thought we had more removal. But I don't want to take a Reduced Ashes over Scourge Wolf. I guess Scourge Wolf isn't that nuts. It might just be the pick for us, though. We'd have a few, like, aggressive... It's kind of awkward because it's double red and we just are so much deeper in black. And there is Crawling Sensation, which works usually in black-green, but... I'm going to take the Scourge Wolf. Alright, well, there's Masquerade, which is most at home in decks like this, but problem... I mean, it works well with the rats, I guess. First Strike Death Touch is good. We don't have any Vamps. Oh, that's not true, I guess. The Tormentor. I mean, Masquerade might just be the pick. It's got the most potential upside. It's certainly more exciting than a Revenant and a Rush. Yeah, I guess. It's probably still early enough where Stincia Masquerade could work out. I don't really like Masquerade in the same decks as, like, Murderous Compulsion. But that's kind of I guess, not a huge deal. So we'll just take it. Foreboding Ruins. We can take the Reduced to Ashes now, which I probably do. Stallion of Ashmouth, a little more Delirium value. I'll probably just take the Reduce and play it. Okay, Blood Mad Vamp's a good card to have in your deck that's got Styncia Masquerade. Plus, we're looking for more early beats. Yeah, it seems like it is just the correct card for us. We could take the Crow of Dark Tidings. It's got no synergy with the Masquerade, but it does evade. It turns on your Delirium, but our Delirium count is very low. It's basically Scourge Wolf and Hound, which we don't even want to play. Well, we want to play a Scourge Wolf, but not the Hound. I'm going to take the 4-1. I feel like that's debatable, but I don't know. I personally, I like the Blood Mad Vamp. And like I said, it's going to be a lot better with the Masquerade. These 2 cards alone will take over a game. So if you're going to play the Masquerade, I would say go for it. Jeez, Calvary's good. So I could take a second Revenant. I definitely like the Revenant more than Convicted Killer and more than a Rush of Adrenaline. Plus, we're going to need some more creatures. Okay, I can take Twins, I guess. Otherwise, Wicker Witch. Neither of which are insane. And Twins is fine. Arsonist is a good finisher. It's what we're looking for. That's a late pour over the pages. That card's good. So is the Vessel of Ephemera. Alright, so our deck doesn't look busted, sadly, but it looks fine. It's not as hyperly aggressive as I'd like. All right, Neonate here is fantastic, actually. We straight up just have enough madness where this card's going to be good for us. So pretty happily picking that up. I've really done like a 180 on Insolent Neonate. It's just so much better than I originally thought it was. I mean, I guess I'd take a Highland Lake. I'm not going to play the Rotten Heart Ghoul, or at least not happily play the Rotten Heart Ghoul. We've got another pack to just really, maximize the deck's potential here. So let's take the Highland Lake. Revenants. All right, I'll take all the Revenants. So what does the deck with all the Revenants want to do? It doesn't beat down, but we kind of want to beat down. The problem is Styncia Masquerade really has no synergy with Farbog Revenant, which is a bit of a dilemma. It's not like a huge deal, but at the same time, it's really not what the little Skulk dudes want to do. It does, however, like I said, have synergy with Rats, because you can just attack it and they basically can't block it. But the 1-power guys with Skulk, they basically can't block anyway, so it's kind of like it's insignificant. I don't want to end up playing Hound of the Farbogs. I'd rather lower the curve. I don't even think the Pyrehound probably... Yeah, I don't think the Pyrehound needs to make this deck. So let's likely cut the Pyrehound too. Just assume that's not going to make the deck. And then I think we probably don't need to play 3 Revenants, but I mean, we can. It's not a huge deal. Take the Carriage. I'd prefer to not play that either, even though it does beat down. Foil land. I'll try and remember to play it this time. Okay, Bloodseeker's a nice pickup here, actually. It's a cheap beater, works really well with our deck because we have actual madness effects that we want to use it with, and basically reoccurring or multiple use free discard effects that are like the ideal ones for this deck, especially instant speed ones that work with like Murderous Compulsion. So Ravenous Bloodseeker is like just straight up an ideal card for our deck. So I'm going to take it for that reason. And it also happens to be a Vamp. So now we're kind of... You don't need to be Vamps to play Masquerade. You do, and I've made this argument before. People disagree with me. You really need to be aggressive. You can't just put Styncia Masquerade in your mid-range deck and call it a deck because it makes your attacks later good. I think that people that believe that are not thinking about the full picture there. So I could take the Mage because it's another Vamp that works well with the Masquerade. It's also another cheap creature. It's not ideal in this deck. It's fine. I could take the throttle. Our removal count is currently deadweight, apparatus, compulsion, judgment, and a reduced ashes. So not like a super high count, but I still think I might prefer the 2-drop vamp. We don't have any vamp synergies other than Masquerade. And like I said, Mage isn't great in this deck. It's certainly it's perfect in the spells deck. Sanguinary Mage is kind of an odd card in the format because it really is more for the spells deck despite being a vampire, which is kind of a strange place to be. There is Necropod, which I like, but I prefer to play the low curve deck. I probably just take the Mage and hope to maximize the Masquerade, keep the curve low, probably find another removal spell later, or if not, just peck away with our Skulk guys. All right, I can take a second Sanguinary Mage. Pacifist is very good. Biting Rain is a good sideboard card to have, but we may just want to up our creature count, specifically Vamps with Masquerade. Biting Rain is good sideboard card, but we're going to take the Mage. All right, Aristocrat is insane now. I mean, I guess the problem is we don't have... What are we at? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have enough. We have enough to make it work, so I'll take it. It's such a great card, and we could potentially find some more Vamps if we are so lucky. Stallion. I may not want to play the Apparatus. I probably don't want to play the Resolve either. They're both fine, but they both can get the boot. Stallion versus Killer. They're both pretty mediocre. Wicker Witch, I've stopped caring about Delirium though, because we don't really have any besides Scourge Wolf, so I don't really care. They're both pretty mediocre. I guess Killer maybe. Not likely to want it. All right, we'll take a... Actually, I think I want the Neonate over the second Twins here. Let me think about this. I really like the Insolent Neonate. We have Serious Madness enabling we want with Judgment. Like, serious. And it works well with the Aristocrat. Especially since when it gets bigger... Plus, like, keeping our curve low with Masquerade, low-cost Vamps Masquerade, that'll take a game over. Just like going Neonate, Mage, Masquerade, Attack. And your opponent is in big, big trouble. We're going to take the Neonate. We're going to go for the low-curve Vamp deck. Accomplice is a thing. I could do the Senseless Rage. We have enablers for it. Specifically, the Bloodseeker is the most fantastic one for it. Turns into 5/3 for 2 mana. Might just want the Accomplice, but I mean, we're okay on creature count, although I'm probably not going to want to play triple Revenant. I prefer to go for the better beaters. I could just take a second Arsonist. I'm going to take the Accomplice here. I'm not sure. Alright, playing all the Sanguinary Mages. Senseless Rage. Seems good. I could take Dual Shot otherwise, but we'll take the Rage. I may, and alright, we got the Throttle back. I guess that's actually kind of cool. Vessel, I guess, sideboard card. Companion is actually kind of scary to go against sometimes, believe it or not. Alright. So, the good news. The good news is we have ourselves a pretty nice looking deck here. And we have to make cuts, which is always the correct good problem to have. Stallion of Ashmouth, I mean, we can. I think, so we can cut creatures at this point. I'm going to cut non-vamps. Even though, like I said, Sanguinary Mage is not exactly at home in this deck. It's fine. I don't love Macabre Waltz in here either. I guess it brings back Tormentor. And it's a form of card advantage that Madness enables. But I think we cut the killer. We're going to cut non-vamps. So I'm going to prioritize vamps because of Aristocrat. And I think that's the wise idea to do. Aristocrat and Masquerade really make all of these Sanguinary Mages look just infinitely better, since we have two just like really good pieces of synergy with them now. Maybe I can cut the Accomplice. Accomplice actually works well too with the Aristocrat. You sack it on both ends. I kind of like that. Same with like Geese's Bidding. But Geese's Bidding with Neonate, like turn 3, draw a card, get 2 2/2s is like, that's some good value. We're going to keep all of our removal too, I think. Which means we want to cut, well, I don't know if I want to, well, even if I cut 4 creatures, we still have 15, because Geese's Bidding is like a creature. So we could theoretically cut 4 creatures and still be okay. Compulsion is less good in this deck, but since we actually have Madness enablers, I like it a little bit more. And we have some evasion, like Rancid Rats and the Farbog Revenants, but I think we're not going to end up playing 3 Farbog Revenants. I think we can cut 1. I want the twins, because Vamp and Madness. I might actually cut the Scourge Wolf. I don't know how, like, we can make Delirium happen in here, but we don't have much in terms of instants at all. We have like 1. So, Scourge Wolf is just less good. I feel like it's, I mean, it's fine. It's just not great. I don't even know if I want the Warped Landscape. I probably do. But I'm kind of feeling cutting the Accomplice and the Scourge Wolf. And just like I said, really focusing on the Vamps. I could actually cut Macabre Waltz. Like, yes, it's a Madness enabler. I don't really love it in this deck. It brings back Aristocrat, I guess, which is cool. But we don't have, like, bombs to bring back with it, which makes me like it a lot less. It's basically bringing back a Tormentor and something, like an Arsonist, maybe. I think we're just going to get rid of the Macabre Waltz. So, I think I actually do like Senseless Rage in this deck. Lets us smash in unpredictably. What's our final vamp count? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 is a reasonable amount. It was more than my last vamp deck, I think, so oddly. All right, so we're running a little bit low on time. This deck looks fine, though. I like this deck. We could probably get away with 16 lands, but we've got some actual mana sinks and like Avacyn's Judgment. We've got a little bit of card draw with the Neonate if we need it. All right, yeah, this deck's cool. So we're probably going to do close to an even split. 8-8, which they suggest as well. I want to give this deck a B. I think our curve is very good. We don't have any bombs, though, which takes the points away. That's where our demerits are coming from. Don't have any bomb. Well, I guess Avacyn's Judgment. So we have 1 bomb. We've got some evasion. We have a vamp theme. We have a low curve. Our removal is reasonable, not insane, but decent. So yeah, we'll give this deck a B, and we'll just label it a straight up 85%. I like it. Looks fun. All right, we'll play it like this. We'll see you round 1.